Hello everyone. This week you need to have exam 3. It will be available from Wednesday to Saturday night, and it's due Saturday night. And I uploaded the review worksheet and solutions to them. In this video, I want to explain solutions. Um, okay, let's start. The first problem in the worksheet, I wrote a hint like which formula you should use to solve this problem. But on exam, it won't be just a problem without uh, which formula you should use. So you have to figure out yourself. So how do we know that we should use simple interest saving formula? So let's look at the so here Thomas loaned some amount and then that amount accumulates. So that's why it's a saving, even if he has loaned. And why we use this simple interest, not compounded interest, because here it doesn't say anything about compounded monthly or annually. So when it doesn't say anything about compounded, it means it's a simple. So this is a formula, and here P is the initial amount, it's a 350. Then R is a interest rate, which is 25%. So we convert it to numbers, so it will be 0.25. And T is the number of years, to 2 years. So after we put all numbers, we calculate this and we get the answer. Okay, second problem. Here Hank is trying to save the money, and he doesn't pay every month. He just make once investment, and that's why we use um, the saving. Saving formula, and it's a compounded interest because it say that interest is compounded monthly. And so we use this formula, and then we put the numbers. P is the initial amount, it's a 5,000. Then interest rate is a 2%, so R would be 0.02. And it's N is a number of compounding periods per year. So since it's compounded monthly, and we have 12 months a year, so N will be 12. So we write here 12. And here in the exponent, it's a N, which is 12 multiplied by T. T is a number of years. So he's going to save for 3 years. So we multiply it by 3. And then we carefully put everything to calculator and find the answer. Okay, in third problem, you are going to take a loan, and you are going to pay 1,300 per month. So it's a loan, and it's since you are paying every month, it's going to be amortization payment formula. And yeah, that's why we use this formula. And next, PMT is a monthly payment, which is 1,300. So payment is 1,300. The next APR is interest, which is 4%. That's why we have here 0.04. And it's compounded monthly, so N will be 12. N will be 12. And the same here. And Y is the number of years. And it says that you are offered a 30-year mortgage. So Y is 30. Then we calculate this and we get the answer. So the most important part is to understand which formula you should use, and then put numbers and calculate it is not that difficult. Okay. So again, it's we should use a loan formula. There are two types of loans, right? One is when you just like take loan and don't pay, so it's no amortization. And another when you do monthly payments. And so the question is, what will be Barbara's quarterly payment be? So it means we should use amortization payment formula. And here P is a amount we're going to take, which is 175,000. APR is 6%, so it's a 0.06. Then it says that it's going to be compounded quarterly, and we're going to pay quarterly as well. So usually these two things are the same. If it's compounded monthly, then we pay monthly. If it's compounded quarterly, then we pay quarterly. So if it's quarterly, it's 4. That's why we have 4 here and here and here. And this is number of years. And it says that we will pay it for 15 years. So it's a 15 here. And then we calculate this and we get this answer. Okay, it's Jackson deposits 200 in a saving account. So we should use a saving formula, and there are two type of savings: when you make just one payment, or you do payment every period. So here it says that he's going to deposit at the end of each month. So it means it's a saving plan formula. And so in this formula, again, PMT is 200, APR is 8%, compounded monthly, so N is 12. And then we calculate this thing, and number of years is 6. So that's why Y is 6. And then we calculate this and we get the answer. So here you want to accumulate, which means you want to save. And also it's asking what would be your, how much would you have to save each month. So it's again payment formula, but you want to figure out what is a payment. That's why you take the formula which has payment on the left. And if you look at the formulas, they're also given at the end of the worksheet. For saving, you have two formulas. It's the same formulas, just in different forms. One has like accumulated amount on the left, and one has payment. So it depends on your question. If you have to find payments, as in this problem, you use this formula with payments on the left. And the same for loan. When you take loan, so either you want to know what should be your monthly payment, or what amount you can afford yourself. So depending on that, you choose the formula. And then you put the numbers. So you want to accumulate this amount, 15,000. That's why A is 15,000. APR is 5%. and it's compounded monthly, so n is 12, and you are planning to make it over 18 years, so y is 18, and then you calculate your two calculations, and the answer is 43. So it's a month. What should be monthly payment to accumulate 15,000? And in this question, it's saying that annual rate is 18%, which is APR. And the question is, what is annual percentage yield? You have to use APY formula in this case. APY is equal to this, where R is APR, so it's 18%. And then we look at the compounding period. It says compounds monthly, so n is 12. And then we calculate this, and it's equal to 0.196. I rounded it. And this is 19.6%. Okay, is the module 5. I suggested solving parallel and series circuits. There are 3 problems, so we're going to solve those 3 problems and 2 other problems. Okay, so we are going to use Ohm law, which is this. And in this problem, we have to find the current. And that's okay. So what are voltage and resistance? Voltage is given here near battery. It's a 9 volts. And also we have one LED, and each LED drops 2 volts. So it means the voltage in this circuit will be 9 minus 2, so 7. And the resistance, if we have series, no parallel lines, then we just simply add them. So it will be 1000 plus 330 ohms. So totally 1330 ohms. And then we put those numbers here. So it will be 7 volts over 1330 ohms. And that will be 0.0053 amperes, or if you convert it to milliamperes, it's a 5.3. Okay, in next example, we have 3 lines in the circuit. So let it be first, second, and third. And we have to find total current. What is the total current? So first we find current of each line one by one. On the first line, we have one LED, so voltage there will be, the battery gives 9 volts. So on first line, voltage will be 9 minus 2, so 7. And the resistance, the same as in previous example, 1000 plus 330, so 1330. Then we divide voltage over resistance, and we get the current 5.3 milliampere. For on second line, we again has only one LED, so it will be, the voltage there will be 9 minus 2, so it's 7. Resistance is just one resistor with 2 kilo ohm, which is 2000 ohm. So be careful here. If it's a K, it means 1000. And then we divide and we find 3.5 milliampere. Okay, and third line, on third line, we have 2 LEDs. So that's why voltage will be 9 minus 2 by 2. So 9 minus 4 is 5. And we have two resistors, and it's a series, so we add them. 330 plus 330 is 660, and then we divide voltage by resistance, and we find current of that line. And then the total current will be the sum of three currents. So we add these three currents. And so it means that we add them and we get 16.4. So the total current will be 16.4 milliampere. Okay, in this problem, we want to make current to be 20 milliampere on each line. So all of these would have the same brightness. And 20 milliampere, if we convert to amperes, it's 0.02 amperes. And so current is given, we have to find the resistance. So we're going to use this form of Ohm law. Resistance is equal to voltage over current. Okay, so on the first line, we have one LED and battery is 9 volts. So on the first line, voltage will be 9 minus 2, which is 7. So resistance will be equal to 7 volts over 0.02 amperes, which is 350 ohm. On second line, it's a 2 LED, so that's why it will be 9 minus 4, which is 5. And then we calculate this. And current everywhere is the same. This is our aim, to make same current on each lines. And this will be 250 ohm. And last, it's a 3 LED here. So voltage there will be 9 minus 2 times 3, which is 3. And then 3 volts over 0.02 amperes is equal to 150 ohm. So it means that to make 20 milliamperes on each line, we have to put 350 ohm resistor here, 250 ohm resistor here, and 150 ohm resistor here. Then we'll get the same current on each line. Okay, and other two problems. Okay, so here we have no LED, just a series of resistors, and we have to find total resistance and total current. So first, let's find the total resistance. Total resistance in this case will be simply sum of these three. So it's a 20 plus 30 plus 50, which is 100 ohm. So this is a total resistance. And voltage is 125. So current will be voltage, which is 125, divided by resistance, which is 100. So that is 1.25 amperes. In the second example, we have a little different pictures. Here we see parallel lines, so it means it's a parallel circuit. And to find total resistance there, we use this formula. Okay, so where these are resistance on each line. Okay, so on lines we have 20, 100, and 50. And if we calculate this, it will be 0.08. And this is 1 over resistance, it's not resistance. To find resistance, we have to flip over this number. So resistance will be equal to 1 over 0.08, and this is equal to 12.5 ohm. And do not forget to put unit symbols. So voltage will be, and voltage is 125 volts. Then to find the total current, we use again Ohm's law. Current is equal to voltage over resistance. And we know that the voltage is 125 and resistance is 12.5. So we put those numbers here and we find that it's a 10 amperes.